Hello and good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. So, today we have a class. It is required. It is a safety training, which is your favorite. But it's on infectious disease control, which breaks down basically to this one is ways that we can prevent colds and the flu, as well as the coronavirus. So, how do we go about doing this? So, we'll do our training and then, enjoy the rest of our Friday and weekend, and then see you all on Monday. So, ways to prevent colds and the flu, hand washing and other tricks to keep from getting sick. Now, hand washing is very, very important. And something I haven't done quite yet, but I am going to do it, is we need to get our flu shots. You don't have to, of course, but it does really help during flu season, which is the season that's coming up as we just switched over into fall. So, what are colds and the flu? Colds and the flu are very common illnesses. People who have a cold often feel tired, get a runny nose, sore throat, and sneeze a lot. People who have the flu have a fever, body aches, a headache, a cough, and a sore throat, which are very similar to the symptoms of the coronavirus. So, again, as we're doing is, luckily we have plenty of tests when it comes to the coronavirus. But no matter what, if you're feeling sick or anything like that, it is best to stay home. So you can get colds or flu from people who are sick by breathing in their germs, touching your eyes, nose, or mouth after getting their germs on your hands, touching a cup or something else that you will put in your mouth after getting germs on your hands. For some reason, that grossed me out. And you can get germs on your hands by being near someone who is sick when they cough or sneeze, touching someone who is sick, or touching things in their room or house when they are sick. And that's why when it really comes to, say, the coronavirus, things like that, or the flu or anything, people usually ask others to kind of isolate themselves from other people, because you don't want to be in the same room as someone who's really sick, because then there's a good chance that you're going to get sick. I mean, especially if you're living with them. So give them their space, make sure that they're comfortable, make sure that, obviously you can bring in soup and things like that, but, at this point we have plenty of masks and PPE that we can actually help make sure that even if it's the flu, we can still help somebody, but then even if it's the coronavirus or a cold, then you can still help the person by making sure that you're wearing the proper PPE, which means, washing our hands, making sure we're not touching our face or things like that if we've touched a possible contaminated surface. So, let's make sure that we take care of each other. It's very important. So let's see, what is the next part? Well, just what I went over. Wash your hands. This is the most important thing that you can do to prevent the cold or the flu. Wash your hands under running water. Use soap, not just put it under running water. Clean above your wrists, between your fingers, and under your fingernails. A good trick that I learned a long time ago is when you're washing your hands, in order to get under your fingernails, which sometimes it's kind of hard to do. So you're washing your hands, and always for at least 20 seconds, at least, and not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, and then get up to 20. But once you've got, say, all the soap on your hands, you get it on your wrists and all that good stuff, Once you have the soap right here in your palm, just scratch your nails a little bit on that, not hard. I don't want anybody to hurt themselves. And then do it on the other side. And it would actually, if you do it this way, it will get underneath your fingernails and you'll have clean fingernails. So that is a good way to do it. Sometimes it's tough to actually get underneath that, but that is a little trick that I've learned. Use a towel to turn off the water and to open the door if you are in a sick person's room. Yeah, that's actually a really, really good idea. I just found out, my sister, well, my sister-in-law, but she's really my sister, just had a baby. And I didn't know, but you're not supposed to kiss a baby anymore, until a bunch of time has passed, because you could actually infect the baby with germs on your lips or things like that. I mean, who knows? And I really didn't know that. And I gotta tell you, it's tough to not kiss a baby. They're very cute. And so we'll move on. That was just a little side story. You can also protect yourself from getting sick by asking your doctor about getting vaccinated for the flu. Or, of course, there's that new vaccination for the Omicron variant that I think all of you should get, because it's specifically for the new variant of COVID. And it can really help us during this holiday season, as it's coming up next month, or tomorrow. October begins, which means it's the beginning of the holiday season. So, if you need any help with that, I don't mind taking y'all to get that vaccination at all. Of course, drink plenty of water, getting plenty of fresh air, which is also important when it comes to the coronavirus. Being outside and just walking around, not inside a store or anything like that, but being at a park, things like that, just getting fresh air is a very good thing right now. Because the coronavirus, it just blows away in the wind, which is a good thing. But it's also important for us to be outside, part of nature, and having that nice fresh smell of the world. So let's do that. Eat fruits and vegetables, and relaxing and getting plenty of sleep every day. So if you can get your 8 hours of sleep, that's very important. And that can really help when it comes to, just taking care of yourself and making sure that you're healthy and comfortable and ready to go every day. So, these are some very good tips when it really comes to infectious disease control. Now, let's say you've done all of this, right? You've done your best to make sure that you don't get sick. You've gone and got vaccinated. You got your flu shot, and somehow you still got sick, which is never fun. So, here are some tips for relieving cold and flu symptoms. So, how to feel better, and because it's not a fun thing. We've all been sick, and we all want to feel better. We don't like it. Our body's not liking it. So here are some tips that we can do to make sure we feel better. So colds and flus are very common illnesses. So they've been around for a long time, and they can be very dangerous. But, there are other ways of actually dealing with it. And so since they're so common, these are some ways that we can really take care of it so that we're feeling better and back to feeling like ourselves, which is what we want. So if you have a cold, you'll probably feel tired, have a runny nose and sore throat, and sneeze a lot. We went over that. If you have the flu, you will probably have a fever, body aches, a headache, a cough, and a sore throat. We went over this too. Come on now. This is a different slide. But at the same time, that's the same with the coronavirus. But the thing is that the coronavirus can be a lot worse. It's almost like amplified. Some people don't get it as bad, but you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Fluids, of course. So there's no cure for colds or the flu. Uh, it's going to get passed around, and that's why we stay home. That's why we take care of ourselves. And, so there's no cure for it. You get it. So there's no medicine that will make the cold or flu go away when you are sick. But you can make yourself feel better. I have a book around here somewhere that's a home remedies book that I use quite a bit for different things. Just to, when I'm not feeling well, you could have an ear infection, all sorts of things, but, there are different ways of making yourself feel better. So here's what this recommends. Home remedies and over-the-counter medicines can make you feel better while you are sick. So say it's a cold, there's NyQuil, there's ibuprofen, there's all sorts of things that you can go. Make sure that you know what your allergies are so that, talk to your doctor, make sure it's safe for you to take. Make time for extra rest and sleep, which is very important. If you can actually get good sleep, it starts to pass through your system a little bit better. And drink lots of liquids, for example, juice, tea, or soup. I recommend tea, and I've actually been drinking tea with a little bit of half and half. I don't know, it tastes really good. It kind of cools the tea down a little bit, and it gives it kind of a creamy taste. So unless you're lactose intolerant, I would try it. And here are some other things that you can do. To relieve coughing. To relieve coughing, drink a lot of fluids. Ask a doctor or nurse about taking an over-the-counter cough medicine. To relieve a sore throat, if you are over the age of 6, which we all are, and not at a risk of choking, gargle with some warm salt water. Suck on ice chips, medicated lozenges, or sugar-free hard candies. A lot of this I didn't know. And here are more things that you can do. To relieve aches and fevers, ask a doctor or nurse about taking an over-the-counter pain reliever. To relieve runny or stuffy noses, which is more of a cold thing. Breathe warm, moist air from a hot bath, hot shower, or bowl filled with hot water. Ask a doctor or nurse about taking an over-the-counter medicine. So be very careful, though, anytime you're using really hot or warm things that you're going to inhale, because I don't want anybody to burn their hands or anything like that. So be careful with that. Make sure that it's just the steam that will kind of decongest, but be very careful. Let's see. A safety note, which is the last part. Before taking any over-the-counter medications, talk to your doctor or nurse to make sure they are safe for you. Like I said before, you don't know if you might have an allergy, so make sure you're talking to your doctor or a nurse practitioner, or you can call Kaiser or whatever plan you have. There is somebody you can call that will give you the right advice. If the doctor or nurse says that a medication is safe, be sure to take the correct amount and take it only as often as the doctor or nurse says it is allowed. So you don't want to overdo it. You also don't want to underdo it. Just make sure you take good notes, and then things will go well for you. And this has been our safety training today on infectious diseases. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. Ciao for now.